and spread the word.
At first, me and my mom were struggling. I was trying to pay the bills and trying to take care of my mom at the same time. When I first heard that I can get paid for taking care of my mom, I was kind of skeptical because I had been doing it for so many years without pay. That's when I reached out to Passion to Care. I read all their reviews and I saw that they were #1 in the field. Passion to Care has really, really changed my life. Right now, I take care of my mom 24/7 thanks to Passion to Care.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
And good evening, everyone. Welcome to Bishop Chatard High School as we bring you high school basketball on a Tuesday night. We're down the backstretch. In fact, the last week of the regular season, and then we have the tournament draw coming up later this week. And tonight, the Trojans will look to snap a 4-game losing streak. They take on Bosco Institute. They're located in Center Grove, or I should say in Crown Point, Indiana, in the region in a non-conference matchup tonight as Bosco Institute comes in at 6-9 on the season. Tonight's game brought to you in part by the Morales Group, building better futures one story at a time. Aspen Creek Grill, why go anywhere else for delicious food? Burtner Electric, providing quality electrical services in central Indiana. Boilermaker Local 374, we're second to none in quality and performance. Passion to Care, beyond home care where passion meets purpose. Clean Slate, inspired innovation that moves business forward. Piper Logistics, from warehousing to transportation and everything in between. And by the Heartland Collegiate Athletic Conference, watch the best Division III basketball on HCAC.tv, where you always have a front row seat. Great to have you with us tonight. An unusual matchup for those that know anything about Bishop Chatard basketball. Most of us did not even hear of Bosco Institute. We knew of the Bosco Prep School in New Jersey, Zach. But now we're going to see a different Bosco here tonight. I think it's going to be an intriguing matchup.
Yeah, it should be an intriguing matchup. Like you said, we aren't super familiar with Bosco Institute. We know that they play games all over the Midwest, but they haven't made too many trips down the Indianapolis way. But they're here tonight, here at Bishop Chatard, and it should be a great evening of basketball.
Well, one thing for sure, they have a lot of size, and we'll talk about them tonight. Most of their players, in fact, if not all of their players, are from the region, and so they're very familiar with Indiana basketball. You look up and down the roster, players that are from Crown Point, from Hammond, from Maryville, so they know what Bishop Chatard is all about.
Yeah, they're going to be a little bit familiar with how Bishop Chatard wants to play, but like you said, most of their players are coming from the region. They're around that Chicagoland area. They're going to have some size, they're going to have some speed and some athleticism, and they're going to be ready to play tonight. We've seen them out here in warm-ups, making a lot of shots, having a lot of energy, a little pep in the step, and they'll be ready to go.
Now, don't let their 6-9 record fool you, Zach, because the bottom line is they're playing a lot of very, very talented prep schools, not only around the Midwest, but I'm sure around the maybe even the region, because they've been up in Wisconsin, they've been in Ohio, they play good teams here in Indiana, including Lalamier, which is a very good basketball team. So 6-9 is not bad.
Yeah, 6-9. You don't want to look at record when you're gauging how tough of a team this is. I talked with Coach Roseman for Chatard a little bit earlier today. His first response was they're a heck of a team. They're going to be really hard to beat. You mentioned it. They play teams from Illinois, from Wisconsin, from Minnesota, Ohio. They go all over the place. They're playing the top-level competition even within Indiana. They've played one other IHSAA school, Cathedral, this year, who's 14-4, 4A school. So they've battled the toughest competition that's around. So don't let that 6-9 record fool you.
Now, they only have 7 players. They have one of their players, Lucas Underwood, who was injured earlier this year with an ACL. He is not with them here today, but don't let that stop them because they got some very talented players and guys who can really light up the scoreboard.
Yeah, they've got 3 players who score in double figures, and they're led by Matthew King. He's a senior, 6'3". He scores 17 points a game. He's going to look to be the motor that gets them going tonight. They're also led by junior Isaiah Harper, 15 points a game, also adds in 6 rebounds. And you mentioned it earlier, size. Everybody's got that size, that length. They'll be scoring with everybody. Only 6 guys probably going to play tonight. Yeah, everybody's going to look to get involved, and everybody's going to contribute in the score column, I think.
And when we go throughout the night, we'll talk about some of their heritage at Bosco Institute, because when you think about prep schools, you might not think about Bosco Institute, but bottom line is they send a lot of players to the next level.
Yeah, and you were hitting on this when we were talking off air. They've sent 80 players to the next level. 36 players have played Division I out of Bosco just since 2016. So when you're talking about players who are here and they're going to develop and go on to the next level, that's what they're there to do at Bosco, and we'll see that on display tonight.
And we'll drop some of the names that are currently playing that are alumni of Bosco Institute a little bit later in the broadcast. When we come back, we'll talk about the Trojans. They've lost 7 of 9. They've lost 4 in a row. Can they get back on track tonight? We'll talk about the Trojans next right here on IndianaSRN.
To you. Standing with us. You are truly making a difference in the lives of our neighbors in need.
Back here at Bishop Chatard, Tuesday night matchup. Hard to believe, Zach, we're getting down to the end of this boys' season. Tournament draws coming up here in a few days. Bishop Chatard, as we said before we went into the break, struggling right now. They got to find a way to get that offense going.
They have to find a way to get the offense going, and I think it starts tonight. This game gives them an opportunity. It's a team that they know they're not going to see again.
Yeah.
So let's work on some things. We've got 4 games left in the season. If you're Coach Roseman, that's your approach tonight. Just see if you can find some kind of spark, something to kickstart this final push in the season.
We mentioned over the last 4 games averaging under 43 points per game, and they're going to have to get a lot out of Ethan Roseman again tonight.
Yeah, Ethan Roseman averages 22 a game. So you're talking about those last few games, 43 points. Half of them are coming from Ethan Roseman. Tonight, can they find others to help contribute? If it's Colin Guy, Cash Moore, that's some of the names you might expect to add some contributions, but they really need some other guys to step up and provide some scoring if they're going to feel good going into the end of the season.
And one last thing before we take a break here is that size is going to be a big difference. You mentioned that a little bit ago. When you look at Bosco Institute, they got size and length. Bishop Chatard, they don't have that kind of size.
They don't have it, so they're going to have to make up for that with scrappiness, with toughness. They're going to have to box out, and they're going to have to get rebounds tonight if they're going to be successful.
After tonight, there's only 3 games remaining in the regular season for Bishop Chatard. They're hoping that tonight they can right the ship before they find out what that tournament path will look like. When we come back in a few moments, we'll get the starting lineups of tonight's matchup and the tip-off right around the corner right here on Indiana SRN.
Welcome to Bishop Chatard High School and this regular season varsity boys basketball contest between the Dons of Don Bosco Prep and your Bishop Chatard Trojans. At this time, fans.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Indiana SRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
At Morales Group Staffing, we are all about building better futures. And during these times, we are working hard to put people to work. We are now hiring for hundreds of jobs with pay up to $17 an hour. Visit our website at moralesgroup.net or text JOBS, JOBS, to 317-472-7600 to apply now and get hired today.
From warehousing to transportation and everything in between, Piper Logistics does it all. Centrally located, Piper Logistics has 2 warehouses in Indianapolis and a warehouse in Cincinnati, Ohio. Piper Logistics houses over 1 million square feet. Along with our transportation department, we can provide service to half the United States markets.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
Bosco Institute 6-9, Bishop Chatard coming to this one at 7-10. Let's go to our public address announcer for tonight's starting lineups.
A 6'3" senior, number 5, Matthew King. A 6'6" senior, 11, Danny Garza. A 6'6" junior, number 15, Josiah Harper. A 6'10" sophomore, 21, Matrell Harbin. And a 6'8" senior, 22, Luke Stoddard. The Don Bosco assistant coaches Terrence Price and the head coach of the Dons, Nico Padusis. And now the starting lineup for your Bishop Chatard Trojans. Starting at guard, a 6-foot sophomore, number 1, Ethan Roseman. At guard, a 5'9" junior, number 3, Cash Moore. At guard, a 6-foot senior, number 10, Scotty Sendler. At guard, a 6-foot senior, 23, Aiden Artega. And starting at forward, a 6'3" senior, number 5, Sam Beatty.
Starting lineups for both ball clubs tonight. Zach, what do you think keys are going to be to this one for Bishop Chatard, number 1, to really get this thing turned around?
Yeah, we talked about it earlier. Someone other than Ethan Roseman is going to have to step up. They would like to find an offensive spark. Part of that is going to be getting to the line and making free throws. And then I think also with an unfamiliar opponent, they've got to find something that works and is successful against them fairly quickly and play their game.
By the way, it'll be a size disadvantage for sure, as we mentioned, when you talk about Matrell Harbin at 6'10", getting the start tonight. Now, he's not even jumping in the middle, and Sam Feeney goes at about 6'2", and he's still well undersized when you talk about jumping center here this evening. Bosco Institute, and just like that, Feeney not only wins the tip, he about runs over the official. It's what linebackers do.
We'll talk a lot about the size discrepancy throughout the evening, but just even across the starters, averaging about 5 to 6 inches shorter for Chatard. They'll look to control tempo and pace here early. Not in a hurry, just look for a good shot here from the get-go.
Trojans have lost their last 2 on the road. They lost to Greenwood 35-33 and lost to Park Tudor 61-43. Baseline jumper is going to be missed by Semler. And back the other way, look at Bosco running and a dunk at the other end by Luke Stoddard.
And right on cue, the athleticism on display early. Rebound from one of the bigs. They get it out to Luke Stoddard, who runs the 4 beautifully, finishes with the slam.
Roseman, nice pass inside, layup good by Feeney.
Nice finish there by Feeney. Controlled that pass well from Roseman. That's going to be huge tonight. If they can get inside and finish, they'll be feeling good about things.
Harbin outside, and that's probably an area that Bishop Chatard, as you take a look at that dunk moments ago, Bishop Chatard doesn't mind that if Harbin gets the ball out there, he can have it out there.
Yeah, I think they're going to give him space to catch there and just trust that the rest of their team will be solid on the defensive end. Not worried about his passing as much as some of the other things as Ethan gets inside for his first bucket on the night.
You mentioned earlier Roseman averaging at 22 points per game. That's down a little bit from the last time we did him. He was nearly at 24 at one point. Matt King, the talented guard, averaging 17, the drive and the score. Now that might be considered a little too easy for Coach Roseman.
Yeah, you're not going to be happy. You understand the runouts and some of the athletic plays, but just the simple couple dribble penetration inside, easy layup. Coach Roseman won't be happy about possessions like that.
Roseman off now to Semler. Semler picked up by the much bigger Matrell Harbin. Shot missed. Back the other way. The drive, little Euro step, and a blocking foul called against Semler. That'll put Josiah Harper at the line, who, by the way, already has an offer to go to Incarnate Word.
Yeah, and a nice move there by Josiah Harper. Semler just wasn't able to get his body set. Was sliding into that contact a little bit there at the end. That's why the block was called.
Harper averaging nearly 15 points per game, misses the first one. He's out of Maryville, Indiana. Harper also averaging 6 rebounds per game. Second free throw is good. And 5-4 lead now for Bosco Institute, the Dons of Bosco Institute. You got to love that name, right?
I did like the name. I noticed that they were the Dons pre-game.
Moore misses the jumper. Harbin with the rebound. This is Harper. The strong drive, left-hand reverse. That is good. He's a very good-looking player.
Yeah, and you've got to know, too, lefty, he'll be able to get underneath that rim and use the other side of the backboard that a right-hander typically wouldn't be able to use. I know that's in the scouting report, but always a little odd when you adjust to the left-hander.
This is Roseman. You know, when you look at Bosco Institute, and you were mentioning that earlier, their length, and I was just kind of looking at every one of their players, and they all have length, no matter who they are.
Yeah, and that makes things really tough from an offensive standpoint, and if you're already struggling like we've noted Chatard is, it could make things really difficult. But right now, the problem is at the other end. On the defense, things are just too easy for Bosco right now.
Yeah, that was Matt King for the easy layup. He has 4. It's now a 5-point lead. Again, the only advantage the Trojans may have will be depth on the bench. As we mentioned, that'll be a foul up front on Harper, is that Bosco only has 7 players suited up. Taking a look at this move.
Here's that move. The lefty is able to do that where he uses the rim as a shield. You can't let your offensive player get by you baseline side, and then there was no help to help shut it down. Too easy.
Remy Bellanasso coming in. He is averaging 7 per game. And listen, this young man's got some long arms too. You and I wouldn't get a shot off for sure.
I wouldn't be hitting many shots off in this game tonight.
This is Semler on the drive, a little bit short on the glass.
Yeah, and length affected that shot as well. He just extended a little far on the right side. There's a missed layup from Danny Garza.
Garza probably was wondering how did it get so wide open as Aiden Ortega misses that shot. Villanassa with a rebound, one and done there again for Bishop Chatard. Here's the big fella Harbin. I'll tell you what, Sam Feeney's going to have his hands full if he has to guard that all night long. Offensive rebound by Stoddard. The double team off the glass, good.
That's another challenge for tonight is the rebounding. Good D initially, but unable to get the rebound and a putback score.
By the way, Harper is going to be back in the lineup here momentarily. The lead is now at 7. Roseman off now to Semler. Boy, and you start to go inside, you see Harbin there, and there's a steal as Bosco running the floor. Garza is going to get this one. Garza averaging 13 per game, gets his first 2. Now, they run the floor about as well as anybody you're going to see.
Yeah, we haven't seen a lot of teams this season really get out to run like Bosco will.
Boy,
and they feel comfortable doing it, too. It's just natural. They look for the outlet man. Even there, quick outlet pass.
Garza nails the 3. We've got a timeout on the floor, I do believe, and let's see if it's going to be a 30 or a minute timeout or we're just changing players. We're just going to change in a couple of substitutions here. Colin Guy will come in, also Chris Hill in for Bishop Chatard.
Colin Guy coming off the bench, but he's one of the senior leaders, third leading scorer on this team. We'll see if he can give them a spark and get things going in the right direction.
This game was at 4-4 at one point, so 12 unanswered now put on the board by the Dons. Here is Roseman. Roseman, boy, a big body coming at him. In fact, that was Luke Stoddard.
Yep, and that's the height and the length again, affecting the shot.
Garza in the corner missed it. Long rebound by Sam Feeney. Roseman, shot fake drive, and a foul called on Harper. That'll be a second.
Again, length affected that first shot. The shot fake didn't really affect the defender, but he was able to use that savvy to get to the line.
I want to remind you tonight's game brought to you in part by Officially Human. Their mission is to restore respect to game officials and recognize them as authorities on the field and the court. Thanks to our officials, because without them, we don't play. Sportsmanship is everyone's job. Well, you have to figure at this stage that Bishop Chatard may have gotten a little bit smaller right here. I know that's hard to say that, but they did bring in Draylon Vaden as the second free throw is good. Roseman now with 4. Well, right now you're playing basically with 3 guards. Well, really, I think Vaden's more of a guard too. Drive in the lane, the dump off, and the layup good. That's going to be Logan Skura, who's entered the lineup, his first 2.
Good action, and Bosco, what they're doing so well is just getting penetration into the lane. Obviously, they're able to get out and run, but in the half-court sets, they're just getting inside too easy and able to find open offensive players to finish around the rim.
This is Colin Guy. He averages just over 6 points and nearly 3 rebounds per ball game. Now it'll be Chris Hill. Semler with 1:33 to go. It'll be Hill deep in the corner. Really good defense here by Bosco Institute. As Guy will give it back to Semler. Just nothing to find here.
Yeah, and if you're Chatard, this possession is okay. I think they get sped up a little bit, and the key is just not taking a bad shot. And that's a good one right there.
Scott Semler. Chance to go to the line to complete the 3-point play.
Yeah, nice move, nice finish.
Skura picks up the foul. That's his first. DJ Fisher coming in now for Bishop Chatard, and that'll give Sam Feeney a chance to sit down. And Semler gets the roll. He has 3.
That was a big possession for Chatard because Bosco was playing good defense. Chatard was patient. They worked the ball around, and they ended up getting a good shot, getting the 3-point play. I think as you move into the second quarter, you can hang your hat on the fact that if we just work our offense, things will come to us and we'll be able to score.
By the way, with Harbin out, Bosco's gotten a little bit smaller as well, and that's going to be a reaching foul on Colin Guy. That is only his first. Team foul number 2 now on Bishop Chatard. Bellanasso inbounding the basketball. Will give it to Garza. King, the entry pass to Stoddard. Stoddard spins to the baseline, missed it long, and coming away with it will be Vaden. Vaden to Hill. Hill back to Vaden. Nice move to the basket, layup good.
Nice move for Chatard. Another good defensive stop. They get the rebound on the first shot and able to get transition points the other way.
And all of a sudden the deficit at 7. It's got to be good news if you're a Bishop Chatard fan, but that's Matt King. Easy layup, he has 6. 8 seconds remaining. Hill will find Colin Guy. Cutting to the basket, and the basket good. That'll be DJ Fisher. And that's going to do it for the opening period of play. Heads up, everybody. After 1, Bosco leads it 20-13.
We really focus on modern application development, DevOps, so automating the whole process of delivering your solution, and cloud architecture.
Is very important for mid to large companies to have cloud partners, because you can't possibly have all the talent you need to address the complex ecosystem of the cloud.
We advise them on all parts of their business. And then when things are defined and we see a clear goal, Clean Slate also then goes and does the work.
We have a team that is very passionate about what they do. We love to solve complex problems, and there's a lot of companies out there that will avoid, getting involved in those things, and I think that's why clients like to work with us.
Back here at Bishop Chatard, and I know we want to say something if we can. Coach Roseman, you had a chance to talk to him a little bit today, and certainly want to send out some prayers to Linda Sanders and the family. They lost their daughter, and we certainly want to think about them in this time of mourning and need. And certainly when you talk about Coach Roseman's late wife, Misty's mom, Virginia's, that bucket is good by Matt King. And then, of course, Misty's mom, Virginia, has some health issues, doing better. But we want to wish her well as well tonight.
Yeah, definitely keeping the Roseman family and friends in our thoughts and prayers, and just sending good vibes their way.
By the way, that foul called on Logan Skura after the made basket by Matt King. King leading all scorers with 8 points. I know Coach, certainly when you think about family, that's really what's most important of everybody. And I know we talk about that basketball as Colin Guy drives in and scores over the big fella, Harbin.
Nice finish from Guy, and if he can get going, that's really going to give a boost to the Trojans. Nice finish over the big fella.
Boy, the way this thing started out, and all of a sudden there's another turnover. Things are looking good here for Bishop Chatard. Nice down court pass, and we've got a blocking foul at the other end against King.
Nice dish there inside. Good little shot fake there. Got his defender in the air, able to finish for 2. And what's sparking this Chatard run of late, getting back into the game, is the defensive end. They're starting to pick things up defensively, and that's leading to some runouts and some easy offense at the other end.
Well, and here's the other thing, Zach. You have your bench. You just saw Vaden a little bit ago. Here's a DJ Fisher, Colin Guy. The guy's coming off the bench doing the job.
Yeah, and that's the kind of boost they were looking for heading into tonight's game. Can anybody give us a spark and get us going this last stretch of the season? If they can keep this going for a full 4 quarters, regardless of the score, they'll be feeling good about where they're going down the stretch.
Kick out. Here's King for 3. No. Battle for the rebound, and it'll be saved by Hill. And here come the Trojans. Lead pass intended for Colin Guy, but it goes out of bounds, their first turnover.
Now, if you're Bosco at the other end, you're getting some good looks, but as soon as you don't get the rebound, you got to have guys sprinting back. Right now, Chatard is just getting easy buckets. Bosco definitely wants to put a stop to that.
Boy, there's another costly turnover as Matt King got caught in the air, drive down the lane, a lot of contact, offensive rebound. Vaden will go to the line for 2.
Good effort by Vaden. Didn't get the first one to go, but stayed with it.
Garza's going to pick up the foul. That'll be his first. Tonight's game brought to you in part by Tam Sweet and Savory Cafe. They offer traditional food like Grandma used to make. A great staff, better food. Check them out Wednesday through Sunday. And if you need more information, give them a call at 317-760-1640. Second free throw here by Vaden, and he missed them both. And King will get fouled in the backcourt. That'll be Colin Guy. Or they're going to get Vaden instead. Roseman back in. Artega's back in. Feeney is back in. Give that bench a lot of credit. One of those is certainly the way Vaden played, and Chris Hill played well.
Yeah, huge boost. You had Ethan Roseman going out. I think the deficit was around 10. And the bench was able to shrink it back down to 5.
Garza for 3, short. Guy with a rebound. Here come the Trojans again on the run.
Here's one of those run-outs again. This time Bosco did a better job and was able to stop the transition.
Second turnover now by Bishop Chatard. King will get the high screen. King, floater, no. And they've gone cold as Artega gets the rebound.
Another good rebound by the Trojans. Limiting Bosco to 1 shot and 1 shot only.
Roseman, the screen here by Feeney. Feeney, one dribble outside the arc. Will give it up now to Artega. Aiden got the start tonight. He, Semler, Feeney, Moore, and Roseman. And a turnover, and before the pass, we're going to see a timeout by Bishop Chatard. It looks like it'll be a 30-second timeout. We'll take a timeout as well. 22-16.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
22-16, just under 5.5 to go. A near turnover there, but the timeout called by Bishop Chatard. Let's see what they drew up in that timeout. It was only a 30-second timeout.
And a good timeout by Coach Roseman. They've been a little disheveled at the offensive end. Right now they're in one of those grooves where they just keep having costly turnovers, really unforced errors.
Yeah, by the way, it was a offensive foul on Cash Moore. So their third turnover now by Bishop Chatard, each team with 3. Garza with the basketball, the high screen by Harper. Harper, by the way, playing with those 2 fouls. Pull-up jumper is short, and then he'll come away with the basketball. It went off Semler's hand. Stoddard back to Harper. The drive, lost the basketball. Will head the other way. Here's Cash Moore, pulls up on the way, good.
Nice finish from Cash Moore, just under control the whole way. Jump stop. The lost dart there, shoots the mid-range, gets it to go.
Another turnover. Harper not strong with the basketball. Here come the Trojans. This was a double-digit lead earlier. But now it's only a 4-point, actually a 3-point ball game at 22-19. This is Semler near midcourt, guarded there by Harper. Cash Moore scored moments ago. His first 2 of the ball game, averages nearly 9.
It's another one of those long possessions where you're fine with it if you're Chatard.
Semler lost it, and a foul call, I do believe. And they're going to get Harper for number 3. That's big. Yeah, he may be done for the rest of the half.
Yeah, that's a huge foul for Bosco because they are not deep. They'll go 7 guys in the rotation tonight. Any foul trouble is foul trouble they cannot afford.
Halfway through this second quarter. Mentioned a long possession here for Bishop Chatard. I think that's kind of the key, right?
I think it's the key, and it feels a lot better when you're down 3 as opposed to down 10. But even that, they had a possession that sticks out in my mind when they were crawling back, down about 10, 8 points. But it showed them that if they run their offense, be patient, they can get a good shot against this team.
Roseman misses, and Baden the putback.
And right there, just an offensive board. They're rebounding better than Bosco right now on both ends, creating extra opportunities, and it's paying off.
Well, all of a sudden you're looking at a 1-point ball game. Work it inside to Stoddard, and he throws it away. 5 turnovers. Roseman back the other way, and that'll be a goaltending call against Matt King. And how about this? I mean, you're a 1-point lead now.
Just completely flipped this game on its head. They've tightened up on the defensive end. You're getting nice buckets in transition as you see Ethan Roseman there just getting out ahead of the pack. And we mentioned it, but Bosco's got to get back in transition. Chatard's really baffled them, I think, with this zone on defense as well. They're shutting down some of those passes into the lane. And again, it's just another run out. It's too easy.
Roseman at the other end, 6 turnovers now by Bosco. And it is now a 3-point lead for Bishop Chatard. They have all the momentum right now. Skura, the kick inside, the big fella got it. Harbin, his first 2 points, he's out of Gary.
Nice cut, nice finish from the big fella.
A 21-6 run put together here by Bishop Chatard. Here is Semler coming up on 2 minutes. You will have the athletic director for Bosco on at halftime.
Yeah, really excited to talk to him. Like we said, we don't have a lot of familiarity with Bosco, so I think we'll learn a little bit about, some of the great things they have going on in Crown Point. And we'll learn just a little bit about how they operate and how they do things.
Jumper on the way by Roseman. Now he's heating up. He has 10 points now, and it is another 3-point lead here for Bishop Chatard. This is King looking for the screen and roll, but the roll didn't happen.
No, and Bosco, that's a good look there. They're going to have to get some of the jumpers to fall because Chatard is really packing it in on the defensive end.
Semler, his shot's no good.
Great look. Again, that's just too easy. Wide open jump shots early in possessions for Chatard when they're running.
Here's a 3 on the way, no good. Rebound put back, no by Garza. He thought he got fouled off the missed shot that time by Bellanasso.
Good shot fake.
Cashmore.
Oh, that's a nice finish. You don't see too many shot fakes take one step into the lean-in mid-range jumper, but that's what we saw there from Cashmore. Love to see it. Nice shot.
Lead at 5. This has been a completely 2 different quarters that we have seen. At the end of one, it was 20-13, a 7-point lead. Shot fake, drive by King, and can't get the roll. The tip out, and Feeney runs it down in the corner. And his baseball pass is stolen away. And then Feeney hustling after
make it up for
basketball.
it at the other end. You love to see that. Man, they're going to be fired up about that.
Timeout on the floor, 21.6 remaining. Chatard leads it by 5.
At first, me and my mom were struggling. I was trying to pay the bills and trying to take care of my mom at the same time. When I first heard that I can get paid for taking care of my mom, I was kind of skeptical because I had been doing it for so many years without pay. That's when I reached out to Passion to Care. I read all the reviews and I saw that they were #1 in the field. Passion to Care has really, really changed my life. Right now, I take care of my mom 24/7 thanks to Passion to Care.
Tonight's game brought to you in part by Wheeler Mission. For 125 years, Wheeler Mission has been a pillar in the Indianapolis community, providing help, hope, and healing to people in need. If you'd like more information, give them a call at 317-686-6239. All right, play for the last shot here, I'm sure.
You're going to play for the last shot. You've had a heck of a second quarter, really a last 10, 12 minutes if you're Bishop Chatard.
This is Semler. 4 seconds. Roseman lost it, and it goes out of bounds. That'll be a turnover by Bishop Chatard. That's number 5.
Definitely frustrating to lose the ball out of bounds there, but good use of the clock, only leaving 1.7 seconds left for Bosco.
King at the buzzer. That one hits the ceiling, and that's going to do it for the first half. But what a way to come back in that second quarter. Make it a 29-24 ball game, and if my math is correct, Bosco scored just 4 points in that second quarter.
Yeah, only 4 points. They didn't get anything going, and where it all changed is Chatard picked up the intensity on the defensive end. They shut down the rebounding of Bosco. They've completely neutralized the length, and they're feeling good about things going into the second half.
And they should, and I tell you, the bench played well for Bishop Chatard. They got a lot of production out of guys off the bench, including, we mentioned, Baden and Hill, as well as DJ Fisher and Colin Guy. They just really made a big difference.
It was creating turnovers, getting out on transition, and getting some easy buckets. Good stuff from Chatard.
Halftime show coming up next. Bishop Chatard leads it by 5.
We really focus on modern application development, DevOps, so automating the whole process of delivering your solution, and cloud architecture.
Is very important for mid to large companies to have cloud partners because you can't possibly have all the talent you need to address the complex ecosystem of the cloud.
We advise them on all parts of their business. And then when things are defined and we see a clear goal, Clean Slate also then goes and does the work.
We have a team that is very passionate about what they do. We love to solve complex problems, and there's a lot of companies out there that will avoid, getting involved in those things, and I think that's why clients like to work with us.
All right, welcome back, Indiana SRN. We're super excited to have David Maravella, Athletic Director at Don Bosco Institute, join us for halftime. David, tell us a little bit about Don Bosco. Obviously, down here in Indianapolis, we're happy you're here playing against Chatard, but we don't know a ton about Don Bosco. Just tell us a little bit about your institute and your school.
Thank you. Don Bosco was formed in 2013. Originally as a post-grad academy, and for 11 years we've had a lot of success with that. We've had 54 kids go on to play Division I basketball. We've had one kid drafted in the first round, Fiondu Kabengele out of Florida State. Grady Eifert from Purdue played for us. Pat Huffine from Chatard played for us before he went on to Nova Southeastern. So we've had a good run. 3 years ago we started our high school program, consisting of kids from Northwest Indiana. In our first 2 years, all of our kids have gone on to go to college, and so we've had a pretty good start. We are not an IHSAA school, but we are approved for competition, and so we've played a number of IHSAA schools, and we've also played IHSAA schools in Illinois, but actually Cathedral and Chatard are the only two state schools that'll play us. We play a lot of them home and away. We play a number of prep schools from all over the country. So it's a little different dynamic, but we still are in Indiana, and we love to play Indiana high school basketball. Our kids are born and raised here. So, we're excited to be at Chatard, and anytime we can get down to Indianapolis and play and give our kids a different environment to play in. It's always a great opportunity.
Yeah, well, you touched on a lot of the success that student athletes have had coming through Don Bosco and going on to play at the Division I, the college level. Obviously, putting a player in the NBA, very impressive. We were noting before the game and talking a little bit about your schedule. You play teams from all over the Midwest. How do you go about putting together a schedule and just finding opponents to play?
Well, I mean, really, it just comes down to relationships, and I've been doing it for a while, and so, there's not a lot of prep schools in the Midwest, but there's enough that we're able to, put together a good schedule. Obviously, La Lumiere is in LaPorte, so they're probably 35 minutes away from us, so we play them home and away, and they're a top 10 team in the country pretty much every year. And then we play a lot of Chicago Catholic League schools. So we've had a pretty good run as far as our scheduling is concerned. We want to play good competition. We're definitely not going to play in a state tournament. So, for us, it's more about player development and helping our kids get to college on scholarship. That's really the mission of our program.
Yeah, so talk a little bit about the mission of your program being that player development. What is the day-to-day like for a student who goes to Bosco Prep? Just talk a little bit about the student-athlete experience.
Well, they've got class every day like everybody else. We've got an athletic performance center that's run by Frank Exton, who was IU strength and conditioning coach for 13 years. He worked for Bobby Knight, and he was also a lead delegate on the Olympic team in Beijing. His wife is from Crown Point. He ended up coming back when they started a family, so we're really blessed to have him. We have a collaboration with Franciscan Hospital Network, so we have a 13,000 square foot athletic training center. Our guys are in there every day, even throughout the season. They've got class in the morning, they've got athletic performance training, and then we come back in the evening for practice. So it's pretty much a full day. It's to simulate a college type schedule is really what it is. And we get started the day after Labor Day officially, but we'll go all the way into May. And our mission, as I said, is trying to help our kids get to college.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to put you on the spot here. You've been the athletic director now for a while at Don Bosco. Are there any memories that stick out to you over the others? Is there anything that's, I guess, stands out to you over your career as you've been at Don Bosco?
Well, actually, when Pat Huffine, Chatard alumni, played for us, and Grady Eifert, we beat Orangeville Prep out of Canada, who at the time had Jamal Murray and Thon Maker, who ended up being a top 10 pick, and we upset them. And that was kind of our coming out party, our second year as a program. And at that point, nobody really knew much about us, and after that, everybody knew about us. And then when we started our high school program 3 years ago, our first game we beat Hammond Central, who was in their first year as a program because they were Hammond High and they consolidated. So that was their first game in their new arena, and we got a win there. And they ended up going to regionals, winning their regional, and losing in the semi-state to Penn last year. But that was probably for our high school team our biggest win so far.
Awesome. Well, Coach, Athletic Director, David Maravella, thank you for taking some time to speak with us today. And good luck to you guys on the rest of the season and with the rest of the school year.
Absolutely. Thanks for having us.
Yeah. We'll be right back on IndianaSRN with the halftime recap and our second half of action.
Aspen Creek Grill, we are a from-scratch concept with comfort fresh food. You can expect a world-class experience on a great budget. We've got incredible specials, great service. Today's dish that we're going to highlight is going to be our Aspen Blue Sirloin. It is, again, our premium Black Angus certified beef, and we top that with a blue cheese crust. Again, everything that we do here is made from scratch, and it's no different from our steaks. We hand cut all our steaks in-house. So our team back there it's just an incredible team. Everything that they do, they take so much pride in. They put a little bit of themselves into everything that they do over here, especially since it is a made from scratch concept. We want everybody to come, visit us, enjoy some great food with some great service. Bring your friends, bring your family, come have some great food, have a great time with us with some of the best comfort scratch food.
Back here at Bishop Chatard, tonight's game brought to you in part by Boilermaker Local 374. They represent highly skilled, highly motivated workers in the field of construction and metal fabrication throughout the state of Indiana. Start your career with Boilermaker Union Local 374. If you'd like more information, give them a call at 219-845-1000. Well, a tale of two quarters for sure. If you just joined us, it was Bosco leading by 7 at the end of the first quarter. They had at one point got it into double digits, and then all of a sudden, here comes Bishop Chatard. They shored things up on defense. The offense stayed patient. They forced 6 turnovers in the first half, and all of a sudden they have all the momentum.
Yeah, we said pregame somebody other than Ethan Roseman was going to need to step up. Well, check. He went out. I think the lead was 10 points in the first quarter. The bench provided a spark, got things going at the defensive end, shrunk that lead to 5 points. Ethan came back in and was able to keep that momentum going. Also, we felt like it was going to be a tough adjustment for Chatard at the beginning of the game because it's an unfamiliar opponent, lots of length, lots of speed. They took that initial punch, and they were able to adjust, and that's why they got this game back on track in their favor.
Matt King led the way, 8 points unofficially for Bosco, 3 points by Harper, but the key there was he was in foul trouble, really didn't play for about, the last 5 minutes of that second quarter.
Yeah, and that really hurt them too. They lost some of their tempo, some of their tempo pace there in the second quarter with him going out. I think when he's back in the game, they need to make sure he stays out of foul trouble. One of the things they need to do is control tempo as well. They weren't able to speed up Chatard at all once Chatard settled into their half-court offense. I look to see Bosco use that length, use that size, increase the pressure a little bit, and see if they can't dictate a little bit more of the action here in the second half.
Now, I've got to mention, we were downstairs a little bit ago, and I saw Sam Feeney's father. And, of course, Sam made that great diving play there, and that's just kind of player he is. But I did ask him, and he said something about shooting a three-pointer. Sam's got to hit a three-pointer in the second half, okay? So we got to pull for him.
We'll be pulling for Sam to knock down one of those tray balls.
I mean, if Zach Eady can shoot one, so can Sam Feeney.
That's right.
All right, it'll be Bishop Chatard basketball. It's going to be knocked out of bounds. I think that Matt Painter said that Zach shot it so poorly that it just happened to go in.
Yeah, and I was wondering, I was going to ask you if Sam Feeney's dad said that he had to bank it in.
No.
And if it had to be from the top of the key, because that's really going to be impressive if he pulls that off.
I think Sam will take it from – he's in three-point range now, so I think he'll take it wherever he can get it. Top of the key, this will be Ortega on the drive. Feeney inside off the glass, and good. Sam Feeney has
scored. You see the
scored.
bench getting pumped up for good reason. That was a heck of a play. This time it was Aiden Ortega drawing the defender and making the nice dish down.
How about that? Another turnover, number 7 by Bosco.
That was Feeney down at the other end making a defensive play.
Oh, Cashmore almost got it to go. King on the rebound. Here's Harper.
Good D from Ortega there, shutting down the baseline.
Stoddard for 3, in and out. Their offense just not the same as it was earlier. Nice pass to Roseman. No. Tip up good.
But look at him stay with it. Great offensive board. He could tell it was a little bit off, and he went after it. Able to get the putback for 2.
Well, I tell you what, the Trojans are a much different-looking team right now. The jumper good by King, and we've got a 30-second timeout here by Bosco. 33-26, tonight's game brought to you in part by the Morales Group. Their mission is building better futures, one story at a time, and they acknowledge the whole person and their individual story. Give them a call at 317-472-7600, and you just saw that play right there by Ortega.
I think the bench got so pumped up because of the over-the-head nature of the pass, but really what was awesome about that was the way he was able to get into the lane, draw 2 defenders, and find his open teammate. Really nice play from Ortega.
Roseman now with 12 points. Matt King leading Bosco with 10. 7 turnovers now by the Dons, 5 turnovers by Bishop Chatard, but since the start of period number 2, it has been all Trojans pretty much in this one, and now they lead it by 7. Roseman ready to draw the double team to Ortega. Roseman again. On the guard is Bellanasso, and they'll say that Feeney went out of bounds and came back in, and you can't be the first one to touch the basketball.
Yeah, Feeney just lost track of where he was because it was a really nice play. He would have been wide open. He just needed to be a foot further towards the basket.
Ball loose on the floor. King lost it, and it'll eventually go out of bounds. Last touched. I believe that's Ortega down there.
Ortega already making his impact felt strong here in the third quarter. Getting on the floor, getting rebounds, making nice passes.
So off the inbound here is Stoddard. King, they're looking down low. Nice pass and a foul call against Semler on Harper, who was driving on the opposite side.
And Bosco in the first half, they really had two keys to success. One was getting the rebound and getting out in transition. If they're not able to do that, when they slow down in the half court, it was them getting penetration, finding somebody in the middle, and then dishing it down low. That's what they were able to do there, getting the ball to Harper.
You know, I don't know about you, and again, you only have 7 players to work with, and a lot of times if you get into foul trouble, it's not fun, but as a player, you got to love this because you get a lot of playing time here.
No, I would have loved it having only 7 guys because I was fighting as guy number 8, 9, 10. Give me 2 minutes, and I'm going to go out there and dive on the floor a little bit. But, yeah, with 7, I think as a player you love it because you know you're going to be playing a lot.
How about Cash Moore? Able to get the basketball. Roseman gets blocked from behind by Garza, saved by King from going out of bounds.
Yeah, good take by Roseman. He just didn't see Garza, and that was a nice block.
Harper missed it. Ortega, of course, you look back at that shot by Moore. He thought he got fouled. I'm sure the bench did too for Bishop Chatard. But Bosco staying cold here in the third quarter. Here's Semler. Semler, fadeaway, no. Long rebound by Bellanasso. Lead pass and the layup good.
There it is for Bosco. That's the recipe for success. Force a tough shot, get the rebound, get out in transition. That's a nice play.
Lead at 4 now for the Trojans, coming up on 5 minutes remaining in the third. Semler, who will work a lot of point guard as you see Feeney ready to go set the screen. Now he'll come back down low and play at the low post. It'll be Ortega. Now to Cash Moore, and now Roseman. Roseman, nice move to the basket, off the glass and good.
Beautiful finish with the left hand. It's plays like that that turn somebody who scores 10, 12 points a game into a 22-point-per-game scorer. That's just a nice finish at the rim.
King on the drive and a foul call. They may get Roseman, only his first. You look at that play by Roseman, and a lot of that came from bottom line. He's made a nice little fake with his body and got the defender to move, and it was open layup time there.
Yeah, as simple it looks to the naked eye as just a simple drive to the basket, but there was actually a lot going on there. Like you said, a nice move at the perimeter to get his defender off balance. Then he's got to go in strong and still finish it with the left hand.
Harper able to hit the 3. And netting got caught up at the far end. So Harper, after missing 2 free throws, he has 7 points, still behind King of 10.
And this is what I was looking for out of Bosco. A nice adjustment from Coach. That's okay. That's a good play in both ends. Chatard, you're happy you get the easy score, but if I'm Bosco, let's speed this game up a little bit and see if we can't get Chatard off balance.
Shot short, and we have a foul down low. By the way, Ortega will get the assist, and Sam Feeney now with 6. They're going to get Ortega for his first. Third team foul now on the Trojans. Here's Harper. Garza on the drive. And a tip and another turnover.
Active hands, getting the deflection.
I think Garza probably should have shot that. He had it on with the left hand. There's a turnover. King will drive and score.
Nice finish.
You know, sometimes you can be too unselfish.
You can be, yeah, and that was exactly the case there. You're never going to be that upset if you have a player who's looking to be unselfish, but sometimes you'd like him to just finish that play.
I tell you, that's a great touch pass there by Sam Feeney.
Trojans are really seeing the ball, seeing cutters, seeing the pass well. Nice, like you said, little touch pass. Ortega streaking down the left side. Really nice play.
Who says linebackers don't have some touch, huh? Ortega at the free throw line, missing the first. Stoddard back in. Garza will sit down.
And then there was that nice play from Matthew King for Bosco at the other end. He's made some nice plays tonight for the Dons.
Traylon Vaden set to come back in. Had a good first half for Bishop Chatard off the bench. And the second free throw is good. So sitting down will be Ortega. And the lead back to 4. Will it be a disappointment? I mean, it'll be great if you're a Bishop Chatard fan to get the win, but if Feeney doesn't get the 3, does that take anything away from it?
A little bit. Yeah, you want it all as a fan.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes, we want the win, but let's get Feeney a 3 too.
That's right. Harper with the 3 there.
Yeah, and at the other end, Harper's starting to heat up, and that's a problem for Chatard. If he stays hot, it's going to be tough to stay on top of Bosco.
This is Semler. As you see, Bishop Chatard really trying to spread the floor here. This is Roseman. Roseman, 14 points, leading the way for Bishop Chatard. Semler gets cut off by King. Well, you can hear the Bosco bench talking about staying at home defensively.
And this is a nice possession from Chatard. I think if you're not going to put pressure on Chatard, if you're Bosco, Chatard should be fine just milking the clock, working the ball around, and look at everybody getting on the floor.
Finally picked up by Skura, and here's a 3 the other way. That's going to be well short.
Not a good look, too quick in that possession. He can get that look anytime.
Here's the other thing. People say, well, why do you want to be so patient on offense? The one thing about it is you're hoping that defense just gets tired of playing defense and they have a mental lapse and you end up with a pretty easy shot.
Yeah, and a lot of that mental aspect is at play too. When you go down there, you've just played a long defensive possession. You get a stop at the other end, then you just chuck it up.
Great pass. Roseman the layup, give the assist to Vaden.
Nice move from Roseman again. He finishes so well on that left side. That's really a weapon when you have somebody who is a right-handed player able to be so strong on the left side.
Good look at Matt King, averaging 17 per game. Lead is now at 3 once again for Bishop Chatard. And a traveling call on King. That is unofficially their 9th turnover. Listen, I think we would all agree when we watch basketball these days, we're seeing a lot of players getting away with a lot of stuff. The carry, the travel. We're going to have to rein all that in one of these times, right?
Yeah, and a lot of those travels still get called at the high school level. And he moved the pivot foot. It's the right call. A lot of times you're moving so quick as the offensive player, you don't realize you shuffle the feet. That's what happened there.
By the way, Colin Guy, DJ Fisher in the lineup, also in. As you see, Fisher with a basketball.
Yeah, and you can see Coach Roseman on the sideline is yelling, patience, patience.
This is Hill. Colin Guy nearly lost it. Able to regain possession, 37 seconds remaining. Here's Colin Guy, a little sidestep, and the finish by DJ Fisher.
Nice move, nice finish. I wasn't quite sure where Colin Guy was going with that, but he ended up making something out of nothing. Nice find, good finish from Fisher.
We remind you, in the last 4 games, Bishop Chatard has averaged only 42.5 per game. They've now matched that.
They've matched it, and we weren't really sure they were going to get there after the first part of the first quarter.
King pull-up jumper is good, and that'll do it for period number 3. And we will head to the fourth. Trojans lead it by 3.
From warehousing to transportation and everything in between, Piper Logistics does it all. Centrally located, Piper Logistics has 2 warehouses in Indianapolis and a warehouse in Cincinnati, Ohio. Piper Logistics houses over 1 million square feet. Along with our transportation department, we can provide service to half the United States markets.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
There you see the score at the end of 3, ready for the perhaps final 8 minutes of this one, and we have a good one going. It didn't seem like it was going to begin that way. In fact, it wasn't when Bosco got out to a double-digit lead, but the Trojans have battled back. Here is King on the drive. Harper, baseline, the pass inside, stolen away. Bosco now with 10 turnovers.
I think Bosco is going to look to get the ball to Harper a lot in this final frame. He's been the engine of the offense a lot tonight.
Colin Guy on the dribble. Here's one thing about this offense, too. You don't want to dribble too much.
You don't want to dribble too much. Right now, they're doing a really good job of just milking the clock. They've really done a good job of this all night. Just being patient on offense.
Hill, the pass inside, and a foul call. DJ Fisher will go to the line. Here's the other thing, in when you see this nice play here by Fisher, when you see the dribble coming at you as a player, and if they're overplaying you want to backdoor cut them as much as you can. You could see that's what the Trojans are trying to do.
That's what they are trying to do, and they're getting that off of the patience that they're displaying early in their half-court possessions. They're really just kind of passing the ball around. They're almost lulling them to sleep, and then you're exactly right. They make that quick move, that penetration, and it's forcing the defense to make a move. They're not paying attention to the backside, and they're getting a lot of back cuts, easy layups off of it.
By the way, DJ Fisher now with 8 points. Shot on the way missed by Harper, and out on the run. Here come the Trojans once again. Nothing there. They'll slow it up.
Yep, we're going to see it again. I think they're just going to work the ball around outside.
This is Roseman. Vaden wanted that ball down on the low block.
And I like what Bosco's doing here, too. They're starting to up the pressure a little bit up top, starting to press out.
Here's Roseman in the lane. Gives it up and turned it over. He thought he got fouled. Back the other way is King. Layup good.
Nice finish from King.
8 turnovers now by Bishop Chatard. The spin by DJ Fisher. Almost lost it. Good thing Colin Guy was there, and they'll work it around the perimeter once again to Roseman.
Yeah, and that's such a hard thing to instill as a coach in your team. Is there, Bosco sped things up, got a quick score, and then Chatard came down. Nice finish from Roseman. I think it was Derek Fisher was a little out of control coming back the other end, and that was just a byproduct of Bosco speeding up the tempo. They were able to recover and score. But again, that's what Bosco wants to do this quarter. Just speed things up, see if Chatard won't get loose with the ball and make some costly turnovers.
That was Garza at the other end. Colin Guy with a basketball. You know, go back to Roseman's bucket. What I liked about his shot is he adjusted to that left hand on the left side.
Yeah, he's essentially giving or taking what the defense is giving him. They're giving him a lot of space on the left side, and he's continually scored with that left hand around the rim. Really impressive.
Colin Guy, shot is missed, and the rebound ripped away by Harper. Harper will take it himself to King. Baseline shot, good.
And King's really getting it going now.
Timeout on the floor. We're tied at 46.
At first, me and my mom were struggling. I was trying to pay the bills and trying to take care of my mom at the same time. When I first heard that I can get paid for taking care of my mom, I was kind of skeptical because I had been doing it for so many years without pay. That's when I reached out to Passion to Care. I read all the reviews and I saw that they were #1 in the field. Passion to Care has really, really changed my life. Right now, I take care of my mom 24/7 thanks to Passion to Care.
High school basketball in IndianaSRN brought to you in part by Piper Logistics. Piper Warehouse is a group of logistics professionals dedicated on working together to provide our clients with a complete logistics package. They have offices in Indianapolis and Cincinnati. If you'd like more information, give them a call at 317-396-1023. We are going to go right down to the wire, I have a feeling, but I like what you said a little bit ago. They're hoping, if you're Bosco, to get Harper going because he got off that slow start because of foul trouble.
Yeah, and right now his teammate Matthew King is making some shots, but it's coming off of Harper's action. They've gotten some stops, speeding up Chatard just a bit and getting out and being able to run, and that's what Bosco wants to do. They're going to try to do it this last 5 minutes here. But Chatard at the other end is going to try to slow things down, run their offense, run at their pace. They're fine. Minute and a half long possessions, no problem for the Trojans.
Coach Roseman trying to get his unit. He wanted these guys down low, and a lot of opposite ball action if you can get it, and a lot of screens may open something up on the weak side. This is Semler.
Right here, we got a little game of cat and mouse going on out here. No one's really moving on the offensive end, and what Coach Roseman is basically saying is you guys are going to need to come out and make us do something. We're not just going to force ourselves inside.
That'll be a foul at midcourt. A tough shot there by Chris Hill.
Yeah, and even there, he's probably not super thrilled with that basket as we see one of the left-hand finishes from Ethan Roseman. That's just a really nice weapon to have in the repertoire. He can finish so easily on that left side.
By the way, Roseman picked up the foul, his second. Here's Garza down low, missed that one badly.
And that was his angle. He was just too far underneath the basket. Great catch. If he's a foot to 2 feet higher, he's probably able to square that up and bank it home.
Spin by Roseman, basket good, and a foul on Bellanasso.
And we've been saying left, left, left all night. This time he spins, gets to the right-hand side, and you know that's going to be money if he gets in that close.
Take another look at it.
Beautiful spin. Absorbs the contact, finishes. Really nice play.
You know, you go back to the other end and what Feeney's able to do down low, and Garza, you know, watch how physical Feeney can be inside, as that's going to be an off-balance shot. Missed there by Harper, and a rebounding foul. May have gotten Garza.
Not a good shot there from Harper. Off balance, fading away. You don't give yourself a good opportunity when you're off balance like that. And that's why you saw the jump shot come up short. And then at the flip side, good screen out from Chatard, able to corral another rebound. They've been doing a great job on the defensive glass all night long.
Semler able to get away from pressure, and a foul from behind. I was watching Draylen Vaden. If he gets the ball, he's got an easy two. Stoddard, the 6'8 senior, picks up his first, I do believe. And here's Harper back in. Stoddard will sit down. And we've got another timeout. It'll be a full timeout. Chatard leads it by 2.
At Morales Group Staffing, we are all about building better futures. And during these times, we are working hard to put people to work. We are now hiring for hundreds of jobs with pay up to $17 an hour. Visit our website at moralesgroup.net or text JOBS, JOBS, to 317-472-7600 to apply now and get hired today.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
Back here at Bishop Chatard, I want to remind you tonight's game brought to you in part by Passion to Care. They're dedicated to helping you care for a loved one. Through Indiana State programs, they provide financial compensation. If you'd like more information, give them a call at 833-420-6640. Bishop Chatard holding on to a 2-point lead following the timeout. Aiden Ortega back in the lineup now for Bishop Chatard. That is Semler on the inbound now to Roseman. Roseman will take it himself and finds Vaden, blocked from behind by Harper. Lead pass will find Skura. Here is King. Baseline shot from three, no good, and the rebound by Vaden.
Good look from King, just couldn't get it to go. And these are huge possessions right now for Chatard. Just as far as what's the game plan, you're up 2, 3 minutes to go. Are you just going to take the air out of this thing? Is Bosco going to let you do that?
Yeah, I would find that highly unlikely, wouldn't you? They're looking to trap as much as they can out front.
They should put pressure on Chatard right here, because Chatard is fine just taking the air out of the ball. Right there, a little bit of extra pressure forces a drive and a missed shot, and that's good for Bosco.
Down the lane, and the right-hand shot by Harper is good.
Nice finish. And that's the byproduct of that, too. Get that game up-tempo.
I got to go back to that last shot by Semler. It really wasn't what they were looking for, and I saw Coach Roseman kind of put his head down because they wanted a better look.
And it's time, it's score. That's not a bad shot in the flow of the game, but at this point, you're really working for just the best shot possible. I wouldn't classify his shot as a bad shot, but maybe not the shot you want under the conditions.
This is Ortega. Semler once again, under 2 minutes to go here in this one. Semler driving and missed another one.
Yeah, and it's similar. It's just extended pressure from Bosco forcing Semler to make a decision.
And another timeout, Bosco. They will call it, down by 1.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
By the way, we want to correct that score. It's actually 48-all with 90 seconds remaining. And by the way, you can also unleash the power and passion of IndianaSRN, where you always have a front row seat. Contact us at sales@indianasrn.org to discuss how we can customize a sponsorship package that can maximize your brand and exposure. IndianaSRN, Central Indiana's sports leader. All right, now if you're Bosco here, I don't know if they want to use a whole lot of time. I don't know if they're used to doing that, but what's their strategy here?
You're asking the right questions. Yeah, I don't think they typically are the type of team to take the air out of the ball. So if I'm coach, I just run my best play, and there's a wide open three. That's a good look.
Save from going out of bounds by Feeney.
Now, flip side, if you're Chatard and you can settle down or get a good look.
How about that shot fake?
That's a good look, and they'll take that. 2-point lead, 1 minute to go.
Vaden was hungry for the basketball the last time we were down at this end. And now Bosco down by 2. Lob pass inside, layup good by Garza.
Wow, Garza sneaks in behind the defense.
Take a look at that.
And then at that, man, that is a nice finish there. Traylon Vaden.
Well, I know Vaden a couple of times felt he would have had a layup. He was wide open on the right side of the basket, just didn't get him the basketball. By the way, Cash Moore has returned. He has the ball now for the Trojans. Tied at 50.
Yeah, and it was tie game, 47 seconds to start this possession. If you're Chatard, this is one-shot mode.
Timeout. It'll be a full timeout here for Bishop Chatard. We're tied at 50.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
If you're the Trojans, you certainly don't want Bosco to have the ball again. I've always been a proponent. If I'm going to do anything, I want to take it at the rim somehow. I'm going to force them either to foul me or I'm going to get a layup, one of the two. What do you want to do?
You're thinking that exactly right, and you have just the guy to do it, Ethan Roseman.
Yeah.
So whatever happens in these next 10, 15 seconds is really irrelevant. What you need is the ball in Ethan Roseman's hands with about 10 seconds left. You're going to have him size up his defender, and he's just going to isolate and go with about 6 or 7 seconds left. Now, if you're Bosco, I think you're also in the stage where you're just up, pressuring, seeing if you can't force a turnover. Once you get down to that 6 or 7 second mark, there's no way I'm letting Ethan Roseman isolate. I'm going to send a second defender to make him make a decision and pass it off to a teammate. We'll see what happens.
That's Ortega. Clock under 20. Ortega guarded there by Bellanasso. Cashmore to his right. Roseman, by the way, just outside the lane on the left side. Off the screen, Ortega. Shot fake drive. Double teamed. Roseman, the low pass off his leg and out of bounds at 1.6. Am I smelling overtime?
Oh, you're smelling overtime for sure.
But not until Bosco gets a timeout at 1.6, and whatever they do, it's got to be at least a half-court turn and shoot, or if they got somebody can throw it all the way down.
We hit this pre-game, but again, one of the factors you can't talk about it enough is the length. That's going to really come into play in this end-of-game situation. They're going to have the advantage from the standpoint of who's throwing the ball. He's going to be taller than his defender, so he's going to be able to get the ball over him. And then whoever's at the other end to catch, if you can go up, snag it with two hands, you're going to have time to turn and shoot. So look for that height to be a factor on this. And if you're Chatard, you're just digging in deep. You're doing anything you can to try to get a deflection. If they catch, be solid, don't foul. And you're going to go to overtime if you can do those things. But
yeah, Zach, that's the key right there. Don't foul. I mean, don't do something really silly here.
They do have fouls to give with the short amount of time left. Probably only shooting is going to happen, so you do want to be extra careful. But you can be fairly aggressive at least until the ball is in the air on the pass if you're Chatard.
Maybe we should have the advancement rule in high school basketball where you get it past half court. It makes it more exciting.
It would make things a lot more interesting. I think the basketball purists might frown upon such a change.
Like our producer? Got a big no right there. Here's Garza. Launches it toward the basket. It did hit the net. That's going to do it for regulation. We head to overtime, tied at 50.
Can't make it to the game? We've got your back. Just go to www.IndianaSRN.org and tune in to all of the live action, or go to our on-demand service and relive your favorite moments.
We never really realize how much we depend on electricity until the power goes out. Get those lights back on when you choose the certified electricians at Bertner Electric Incorporated. Locally owned and operated, we are a member of the Better Business Bureau and provide only the highest quality of customer service. For more information, give us a call today.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you.
You know, when you get into an overtime, I always find it just interesting from this standpoint. How well can you get a start? Because the one thing you don't want to do is give up a couple of easy buckets, and then you're trying to battle back because bottom line is you only have 4 minutes to play, of course. But you got to start out fast in OT.
You got to start out fast. I think every coach has a different approach to overtime, too. Obviously, no shot clock, Indiana basketball. So different teams will take a different style, a different approach. If you're Bosco, I think you just need to go. If you're Chatard, you're going to look to grind out some possessions. And Chatard will be back here in action on Friday night against Lutheran. Should be a good one.
Well, by the way, when I become emperor, there will be a shot clock in high school basketball, so you can count on that. All right, here we go, overtime. Bishop Chatard will have it. Cashmore now to Roseman. Off the screen, Moore. Jumper is good from three.
And there's a quick start you were talking about. Huge shot from Cashmore, giving the Trojans a 3-point lead, and they're going to dig down on defense here in that 2-3 zone. They're going to pack it in. And King is wide open in the middle. You just got to throw it over the top.
Yeah, he's right there, but another bad pass. Here's Moore, another jumper. Good.
Oh, my goodness.
Timeout, Bosco. We'll take a timeout as well. Chatard leads it by 5.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
By the way, look at the play of Cashmore off that screen, just catch and shoot.
He's really been a big contributor tonight, making jump shots from all levels. He's hit a couple threes, a couple mid-range. Nice floater inside earlier in the first half. Really nice.
This is King out on the high post. King against Ortega, and Ortega tackled him at the 1.
And I like that play from Bosco. King is open in the middle. If he can catch there, settle, and turn, make a play, that's a smart play and a good play against that 2-3 zone.
Stoddard back in. Bellanasso is out. By the way, I mentioned Ortega, of course, the starting quarterback on the state championship football team. Who said he couldn't tackle? He did a great job right there.
That's right. Not afraid of a little contact.
No. Here's King. Basket good, and he's fouled.
Boy, nice move. Nice finish by King.
Vaden will pick up the foul. That's number 2 on Vaden. Nice move.
Just kind of threw it up there. Little backspin. Gets it to fall.
Free throws always important here in the overtime period. Feeney back in. We still have a chance for him to hit that 3. The odds weren't real good there for a little bit, but now that he's back in the lineup, we have a chance. Now here's the other key. Can Bishop Chatard run enough time here to really put a scares. Roseman pull-up jumper good. They don't need to.
Pull-up, and they'll be fine if they're just getting scores out of every possession. I think they're about to hit the brakes, though. If they get one stop here, look for them to take the air out of the ball and just run some clock.
Stoddard down low to Garza, reverse layup, good by Garza.
Not so fast, says Garza.
13 by Garza. Matt King has 22. Ethan Roseman has 22. This is Roseman in the corner to Cashmore. Shot fake drive. Reverse layup, good.
Oh, my goodness. He uses the backboard as a shield and then spins the ball off the glass. Beautiful play.
7
Cashmore
in overtime.
Bringing it here in overtime.
And a traveling call. They've gotten King a couple of times, taking a look at it.
First nice move, shot fake, uses the glass as a shield and then spins it off the window.
Key to that was getting Harper in the air, right?
It was, yeah. He gets him in the air, gets him off balance, creates space.
Well, here's a little half-court trap now.
Yeah, more impressive, I think, the presence of mind to spin that ball off the glass. Just a nice play.
Ortega, stay out of that corner, whatever you do.
Here, when you're dribbling on the perimeter, you want to make sure that anywhere you go, every time you put the ball on the floor, you have a purpose.
Roseman, Coach Roseman telling everybody to spread it out.
Yep, and they're in the four corners now. Only layups is what they're after. No need to rush.
Well, unless you get tackled by King from behind. He had a grab.
He had a grab of Ethan.
Oh.
And they missed it.
10th turnover. Back the other way we go. Here's Harper. Coming up on a minute to go. King, shot fake against Ortega. The drive, shot short. Big rebound there by Sam Feeney. And a foul as Feeney goes down. Unless we got a timeout here. We wait for the official's call here. So they're actually going to say it's going to be a timeout by Bishop Chatard. 59-55, Trojans lead it by 4.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
Burtner Electric Incorporated is fully licensed and bonded electrical contractor for your protection. Our electricians are available 24/7 for service calls and specialize in electrical service and storm damage repair. For more information, give us a call today.
When you get into overtime, we talk about getting off to a fast start. That's exactly what Bishop Chatard did. But now you really have to take care of the basketball this late. You don't want a 4-point lead may seem big with 58-5 to go, but a couple of turnovers can really cost you here.
Oh, you're hitting it exactly on the head. They got to be strong with the ball. Make sure that they're not dribbling into any traps, staying away from sidelines, corners. And really just get the ball into the hands of your playmakers. That's Ethan Roseman, Cashmore, Ortega. Just keep things up high, handle the pressure.
This is Moore across the timeline.
That's a nice break there by Moore across half court. Always a risky spot, and really nicely done by Chatard. Just nice and easy.
Yeah, Garza was forced to foul there. Number 3, I believe, on Garza. That's number 5 on Bosco. Now, Roseman, not the greatest free throw shooter, but he is 2 of 3 tonight.
Not the greatest free throw shooter. I have to imagine that's just been in his head a little bit. You know he's a great shooter, gets up hundreds of shots a day. I know with his dad as his coach, they're in the gym all the time working. Something you'd expect. That'll probably improve over the next couple years, but 2 big ones there.
Foul called on Cash Moore. He thought he was getting shoved by Matt King. Cash picking up his 2nd. That's only 4 now on Bishop Chatard. Stoddard will find Skura. Shot on the way, and that might have been touched on the rim.
Touched it, but they're going to play on. Oh, no, that's a
double dribble.
There was a double dribble.
And a rebound and a foul call on Bosco. So we have a potential goaltend at the other end, a double dribble here. Slap the backboard, which might have been also a goaltending here.
We had a lot going on there. We're going to just call it all a wash. So here is, let's see if we get a tip.
Yeah.
Oh, boy,
I would say
yeah.
that was inside the cylinder. Ortega on the free throw. That's big.
Then it was hard to see because Ortega was in a lot of traffic, but definitely I think a pickup of the dribble before continuing on.
Ortega, second free throw is good.
Big free throws from Ortega. He's been great all night.
King, downtown three is no good. How about Feeney high for the rebound?
And big rebound. Sam Feeney skying for that board.
Foul be called on Garza, I believe, number 4. So Feeney at the line, has not been to the free throw line yet tonight.
And with 18 seconds, he can pretty much put this one away. If he gets even just one of these two, you never know. But 3 possessions with 18 seconds is big.
I think, as we said before, we're not going to see a 3. I still think we got to set something up for him, though. Can we call a timeout?
I would love to see it.
Second free throw is missed. King back the other way. Harper back to King. Here is Stoddard for 3. Nothing but net. That's his first 3 of the night. He has 7. It's back to 1 possession game now with 8.5. That's a big shot there by Luke Stoddard.
Massive shot, gets it to go. And again, that's why those free throws were so huge. Kept it a 2-possession game by missing the 2. And then this 3, he did go glass. I was going to say, I think he might have gone with the bank.
However it goes in, right?
That's right. An underrated aspect, coaches try to keep at least 1 timeout as long as they can, but there the clock will keep running if they don't get a timeout there. So good use of the timeout by Bosco. Obviously they'll set up the defense here, but more importantly, stopping the clock.
Well, if Bishop Chatard pulls out the win tonight, they'll snap a 4-game losing streak. As you mentioned, they'll play Lutheran on Friday. They finish out their final 2 games. They have Tech at Tech, and then they go to Franklin Central on February 23rd to finish out the regular season. Of course, if I'm not mistaken, is not Sunday the tournament draw, Sunday night, so we'll find out where everybody's going to be going.
Yeah, and I really like the way they do their schedule at the end of the season. This has been a perfect game for them. They've really found, boy.
Cash Moore fouled by Garza, and Garza's out. They wanted somebody else besides Garza to foul there because he's done.
Yeah, and I think really what they wanted was a trap initially. Either that or there was just confusion, but definitely you don't want to let 3 seconds run off the clock.
Garza will finish his night with 13. Matt King, 22 points.
Another situation where 1 free throw here would pretty much ice this game. Big shot coming up, Cash Moore.
That's 3 in a row, though. Gets too quiet in here, doesn't it? Way too quiet.
Way too quiet, and Bosco's going to get a look.
King at the buzzer, and it is no good.
Great look from King. It looked good from here, but it doesn't fall. Great finish.
In overtime, Bishop Chatard snaps a 4-game losing streak, down double digits in the first quarter. and they come back and they really played very well over 3 quarters. And how about Cash Moore? 7 points in the overtime really got him going.
He set the tone in overtime. Big three-pointer to start things off. Came right back the next possession, made a mid-range. He really was the difference in that overtime frame.
So with a win, Bishop Chatard now 8-10 on the season. For Bosco Institute, the Dons, they will fall to 6-10. And again, they played without Lucas Underwood because of the injury, so they played with 7. But when they got to Harper in foul trouble early, kind of hurt them a little bit offensively, because you're talking about a guy who scores 15 points per game, and that's big for them.
Yeah, that contributed a lot to Chatard's comeback in the first half. They really started picking things up on the defensive end, and that was how they turned this game around.
So your final score once again tonight in overtime, Bishop Chatard 63, Bosco Institute 60. Thanks for being with us. This has been high school basketball on Indiana SRN.